Now to wait to see who we can get in here. So I can read the comments. One person's two persons. What's going on, guys? Hey, is that air conditioner bothering y'all in the background? Can y'all hear it? Or is it like in the wind or? All right, good. As long as it ain't bothering y'all. Unfortunately, someone stole my winter. So until I can find out who stole my winter and recover it and get it back, I have to have the air conditioner running, which I don't like. So, volume's low. Well, let me see if I can, my volume's low or the air conditioner volume's low. Y'all can't hear me okay, then speak up. I'll try to change things if I need to. Alright, well I'm going to run with it, but y'all can hear me. If it gets too bad, I'll turn the volume down. Alright. Here it says volume good, so we're going to roll with it then. Just thought we'd close out a pot of coffee, or at least a cupful anyway, with my Christmas present from my son. And some of my wife's peanut cookies. See what you guys were up to this evening. We're just kind of hanging out, and got my best friend and his wife and kids over, and we're gonna bunker down and play it safe this evening. Graze on some food all evening, and enjoy it before it's time to get back to business in the day. And I'm looking down, guys, because I'm looking at the comments down here, so. And you go out family New Year's Eve. That's cool. My parents just live a minute or two away, so they're over here with us right now, and like I said, we're gonna eat and chill out and watch all the craziness from the safety of the television set. Got a video I'll be making live tomorrow. Make sure you guys tune in the morning or check your subscription feed. Got some cool stuff lined up for 2019. I'm hoping to maybe have I I'd like to have some videos done for y'all before the end of January. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that or not. And the reason I say that is hang on guys, bear with me here. I'm trying to set up something at the same time. I've got my annual family and friends get together camping trip, camping weekend, training weekend coming up. And every year I tell you guys I'm going to get a bunch of video done at it. And every year I don't. Because every year I'm usually busy participating in what we're doing, and I can't participate in what we're doing and record video at the same time. And I have to be selective because some of it I'll show y'all and some of it I won't, just for per-sec and op-sec reasons. So I'm not gonna promise you that I'll have video for you. I'll just say that I want to, and I'm gonna try to, but I can't promise. But might have to sample a bowl of my buddy's chili that he'd made, been sitting in there stewing in the crock pot. But I don't know if I want to torture y'all that bad or not. So the homemade peanut cookies is probably bad enough. Quasar, what's going on? Hero is John. Yeah, dude. The Patrol series is, it's like up here on my list. The problem that I keep whining about over and over. All the rest of the Patrol videos that I want to do, I need more than me. I need at least 2 or 3 of us. And unfortunately, I don't have a lot of welfare mooching unemployed friends. My friends all actually work for a living, much like me. So there's that whole job and income and family thing that gets in the way of us actually, our schedules together, where we can actually go do what we need to do to make the rest of the videos I want to do. I've said that till I'm blue in the face. I'm tired of hearing myself say it, but it is what it is. So, yeah, it sucks you got to go to work tonight, Quasar. Make sure you wear some cranial protection for all the nut jobs that are lobbing stuff up in the air. See if I can tune something in real quick so I can see what y'all saying a little better and easier here. Hang on. 1 second. I just want to be able to see y'all's comments. Yeah, you're right, Craig. That whole adulting thing just, yeah, it gets aggravating sometimes. It interferes with things. Let's see, this thing's still trying to get synced up here. Oh, there's no doubt about that. So, I'll give you guys a perfect example of what Quasar just said. So, both of my boys and all 4 of my best friend's sons are all homeschooled. And my oldest son graduated 1.5 years early, and my youngest son graduated 2 years early from school, right? My youngest son graduating 2 years early from school, he's in college, And in his very first semester of college, he was having to teach things to other people in the class. The professor would actually ask him to teach and explain things to people in the class because they couldn't get the stuff. It drove him bonkers to see what these other people, much older than him and with much more training, not training, but schooling under their belt than him, didn't know half as much as he did. They're just, it's over their head. So yeah, government indoctrination centers aren't teaching kids anything. Let's see. Yeah, new generations are nuts. Christopher, shotgun gear. I've actually done a few little pieces of shotgun gear. The problem is I just don't have a lot of demand for it. So if there's something specific that you want for shotguns, just email me. I can't make any promises, but there might be some stuff I can work out and do for you. So just shoot me an email off the website or whatever, and we can hash it out. That's the easiest way. So I won't say no, but I can't promise you anything either. Yeah, like I said, it'll just all depend on what you're wanting. You know, some of the shotgun stuff I can make happen, and some of it not so much. All right, now I can see the chat message is a little better. Hang on here. Come on. There we go. Yeah, that's not going to work. Killing the feed. So let's not do that. All right. Let's see. Craig Pruitt, you're born in '86. Oh, you young and you. Home defense rigs, really, I mean, whatever you want to use. So, like, a lot of guys like using the bandoliers for home defense. Just because you can throw bandolier over your shoulder and grab your gun and you've got, you know, ammo and all that. I have actually made a couple of bandoliers that's got like 3 rows of shotgun shells on it, just in elastic webbing. So there's always that. I can make a MOLLE chest rig, one of my APC rigs, that's just a MOLLE panel, and then make a shotgun shell MOLLE placard to go on that. Again, just use elastic and make loops to put the shells in. For shotgun, that's usually probably one of the simplest and easiest, because you're not worrying about a whole lot of retention issues and that sort of thing, just, you know, in the house. So, and you're not too bad there, Quasar. Just next couple, I'll tell you this, Quasar, the next couple of years are going to be so much fun for you. You're going to love hitting 40. 45 is going to be even better. Ask me how I know. You hear everybody say it. But at 40, it's stuff starts breaking down. At 45, it just flat starts falling apart. You start looking for the duct tape and baling wire. Right. All right. When you hit it, Frank, let me know. We'll send you a Turning 40 care package. Bunch of Deep Blue and muscle relaxers and a bottle of whiskey. That's your Turning 40 care package. No, you won't need the Depends yet. You still got till about 45 before that kicks in. Wish I had a way of, I should have thought of that beforehand. Put something to set my thing up where I can see my comments. Got turkey? No turkey, but you know what I do have? My wife's making a bunch of pigs in a blanket. Gotta have some pork product, you know that. It's the Christian thing to do. Come on. It's always a holiday beverage. But yeah, wife's gonna make a bunch of pigs in a blanket. Got a bunch of stuff we're gonna graze on, and my best friend's had a pot of chili simmering in the crock pot all day long. So I wasn't gonna torture y'all with showing you that, but I might have to have somebody run in the kitchen and grab me a bowl of it, and I'll just let you peruse it. Unfortunately, it's not smell-o-vision, so you can't quite get the full wafting effect of it. But oh, lasagna. That is a serious weakness of mine. Good lasagna, I can make myself sick on. Absolutely sick on. You're right, Craig. It is. Oh, Christopher. Yeah. Find it right about between 40 and 45. Your taste buds change a little bit. And yeah, whiskey does start to taste better. So does rum for that matter. But pepperoni and beef. That's an interesting combination. I can't say that I'm unintrigued, because those are two of my favorite things. Christopher, yes, I have. I've got a laundry list. I got a laundry list and not enough time to do it all. In fact, my best friend and I have been talking about a budget loadout video for probably 3 years. 3 years. Have not had a chance to get to it yet. Either don't have the things that we would want to have to show, or scheduling time to get together. I mean, it's that time thing. You guys that get tired of constantly just seeing me standing here rambling to you in videos, I got to get some of the other folks involved and actually do and show you some stuff. So that presents the problem. Frank, don't you post that on Instagram. I'll be eating my phone. They probably are, Quasar, but not really anything I can do about it. But in all fairness, it's a holiday, so I don't expect a whole lot of people to be in here. Probably get a lot of views tonight or tomorrow after this is over with. Um, oh, okay, Christopher. And there comes the email from Frank that I don't know. Well, I might can open it up. Hang on a second. Frank's trying to torture me by sending me an email with some lasagna pictures in it, so we're going to have to check this out real quick. J-Hoag Jungle Belt Rig. I can neither confirm nor deny that such a thing may or may not potentially and possibly be on the list and in the works. I plead the fifth. All right, Quasar, have a good night. Stay safe. Happy New Year. Let's see. All right, here is Frank's picture. All right, you're wrong for that, Frank. You're wrong for that. I'm going to have to tell Santa Claus, even though Christmas is already passed, he's going to have to add that to your naughty list for Christmas 2019 and give you a lump of coal for that one. Now you got me wanting a big old plate full of lasagna. But that's all right. I got a close substitute. I got homemade chili in there, so. Go give me a little bowl of that chili.
Yeah.
If Frank wants to,
we'll compare.
To play that. Oh, we can.
I'll stack my award-winning chili up against anything.
Go get that chili. 2019. I would say I think the chances of something going bad in 19 are probably better than 18. And I felt like 18 was better than 17. But I try not to get too wound up about stuff. I mean, I pay attention to it. And I do a lot of, I do my winding up kind of privately and internally. But there's significant stuff that's concerning me. Economic stuff, there's a lot of window dressing going on. And I believe that the president is trying to right the economy. I believe that he is. Now, I could be wrong. He may be as much as part of the problem as everybody else. But
let it cool off a minute.
The problem is, it won't matter who the president is with the things that I'm concerned about, because I felt like for a while that things are too far gone on the economic side to be right. All we can do, the plane's going to crash. At this point, all we can do is have a pilot that tries to control it and make it a controlled crash landing belly slide versus just a nosedive and lawn dart. That's like the best that I think we can hope for in that regards. When? I don't know. It just all depends on how long they can kick the can down the road and keep putting stuff off. I mean, just look at the markets. Again, I told you guys before, the stock market is a slow, it's a lagging indicator. It's always behind where the actual economy and events are at. So by the time you see the stock market showing the negative stuff, it's even way further past that. So, you know, it's there. Now, politically, Christopher, you're absolutely right. 2020 election cycle, it's been said about other election cycles, and I'm just going to follow the cliche and say it again. 2020 is probably going to be the most important election we've ever had in history. There is going to be so much on the line because you will have control of the House, control of the Senate, and control of the presidency all up for grabs. I know most of y'all just saw Elizabeth Warren has thrown her hat in. Okay? Do not think for a minute that you can take her lightly. You're a fool if you do. She is every bit the rabid, psychotic socialist that Bernie Sanders was, only probably a little bit more evil like Hillary, and probably even a little bit more likable than Bernie is. I don't think she's quite as loose with the lips and goofy sounding. She can actually pretend to sound smart sometimes. So, 2020 election, yeah, you better button your stuff up tight before 2020 gets here. So, you can chime in if you want.
Oh, no, every election matters. That's,
Yeah, every election matters.
and if you win one, that you don't pat yourself on the back and think we're done. You got to keep working even after this.
See, my best friend that y'all may or may not be able to hear talking in the background, he works in this stuff as part of his job. He works in the political arena. And like you just said, in case y'all didn't hear it, every election is important. Every single one. That's why the one we just had, so important. You just lost control of the House of Representatives and Congress to the Democrats. The next election is going to be even more important, and so on and so forth. They're going to keep going. The problem that conservatives and libertarians both have is we win an election, and then we sit back and pat ourselves on the back because we won an election. Hey, good job, great, we got it. Then they don't do anything with it. Not only do they not do anything with it, they forget that the communists and socialists that are known as Democrats don't quit. While we're busy resting on our laurels that they won, they're already plotting and planning of how they can undermine your win and beat you in the next one. And they don't care that they were the loser of the election, whatever election it might be. They're still doing everything they can to undermine you. We win and think, oh, well, we're in charge now, everything's okay, and just stop. Instead of pressing the advantage, throwing everything we can at them, bill-wise, political-wise, to put them on their heels. We stay on our heels even as the winners. It makes no sense. Which is why I have a lot of dubious thoughts on different political people.
You gotta stay on it, city, county, state, every level, and then once the election's over, whether you win or lose, you gotta stay on top of the people that get in.
Yep, that's the other thing. If you guys aren't already, pay attention to your local politics at your city level, county level, and state level. Those are going to be every bit as key, if not more key, than the federal stuff coming up. Because the federal stuff, we might have already be too far gone on that level, but at your state and local level, there's still some fights to be had. Oh, you're absolutely right too, Frank. Don't think for a second, because you haven't heard much out of them, that Antifa and BLM, excuse me, all those guys have disappeared. They ain't disappeared. They are still doing their thing. They're just doing it quietly while we're busy looking at all the dog tails being wagged in front of us. So, all right, here you go. You see that? That's what you get. Just so you can see it. Some good eating right there. I like what he does with his chili is he's even got big old chunks of meat in it, and I like meat. There you go. Yeah, shoot me an email, Christopher. Oh, cookies? Look here, brother. That's my wife's homemade peanut cookies. What else you got? Because these right here. Huh? You what?
Your mom made those.
Oh, I just corrected.
I just heard on the internet that you made them, so it must be true.
My mom made this batch. I'm sorry, my wife did make some, but it's not this batch. But they're still just as good. Oh, Chris, were you talking about FDCC? I am old school FDCC. I was one of the first generation guys when it was maybe 8 to 10 of us a month out at Lake City Range.
We were just talking about that earlier.
That's how far I go back. Sorry, I got beef in my teeth. I haven't been going in a couple of years because I've just been too busy, and it's been impossible for me to try to get away on Sundays to go. But shoot me an email, Christopher. We might can hook up sometime. alphacharlieconcepts@gmail.com. Not hard to find. Oh, the Calico Jack patch? That's just the flag that Captain Jack Rackham used. It's called the Calico Jack. You got all the different pirates back in the pirate age used their own flag. Blackbeard had his own flag. You have the Jolly Roger, all different ones. That's the Calico Jack. I forget what one of the SEAL teams adopted it years ago, and use it. I just use it because I've always been fascinated with and like pirates, and I always liked the Calico Jack. And I also like the old phrase with Calico Jack that his woman told to him whenever he gave up and didn't fight when they were the last battle for his ship. He got put in prison before they hanged him. His woman went to see him and told him that if he'd have fought like a man, that he wouldn't be fixing to die like a dog. So, always kind of like that little motivation. Let's see. AX Law Enforcement, Happy New Year. Have a good one. Purpose Driven Shooter, hey, happy New Year, man. Yeah, hit me up whenever you're ready. I got plenty of stuff lined up for next year. I've got all the new ATAX patterns in stock. Got Cordura stacked up next to me here. So we're going to be doing FGX and AUX in addition to the IX. Got good stuff happening there. And you can't just take a mouthful of this and then quit. It's kind of like crack. But yeah, like I said, seriously, hit me up, Christopher. We might can link up sometime. So what else? For those of y'all that are just joining and missed the first part, check your subscription feed in the morning. I got a video that'll be going live. Got a few things that'll be coming up. All right, Craig, have a good one. Happy New Year and stay safe. But yeah, I got a video to be live in the morning. Be uploading it here in a little while. Got some cool stuff to start showing y'all for next year on the preparedness side. What else? Got a couple of new to let y'all take a look at. Gonna finish some videos on some that I've already got that I want to show y'all. Just some finished, some follow-ups, etc., etc. All that sort of good stuff. What else? I'm trying to look at the comments while y'all are doing your thing here. About to get dark outside. And of course, y'all know it's New Year's Eve, so you always have to have your New Year's Eve party favors handy. Yeah, I was just talking about Elizabeth Warren a while ago. Do not take her lightly. I'm telling you, mark my words, do not take her lightly. She's every bit the psychotic socialist that Bernie Sanders is, if not more so. And she's probably more likable and probably will have a bigger voter base and could probably be potentially as evil as the Hildebeest herself. Do not underestimate the stupidity of the masses to jump on her bandwagon. I'm warning you ahead of time.
They wanted her to run the last time, but now we've got her way Princess Hillary.
Yeah, my buddy's right. The Democrats wanted Elizabeth Warren to run, but I think the power struggle in the Democrat Party, I think Hillary kind of won that power struggle, and they couldn't put Elizabeth Warren up against Hillary because then you'd have one woman running against another woman.
It was her turn.
Yeah, she was the ordained one. She was this was supposed to be her coronation, and that all got screwed up. Corpsman gear, got a little bit. My dad was actually a corpsman in the Navy. Still got a little bit of his old school stuff around. Got a good friend that's a paramedic. Got another good friend that's a currently practicing PA. So got a little bit of med gear around. Got access to stuff if you need it. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, I think they're going to go for impeachment. It won't go anywhere, I don't think. But the problem is they can't not do it because too many of the Democrats, even if Pelosi doesn't want to go after impeachment, too many of the Democrats have already put it out there. If they don't at least attempt to follow through with it, the dumb masses in their base are going to go nuts. And think about this potential scenario. How many of those idiots, and I mean idiots in a literal term, and also ignorant people that are recent byproducts of the government education system, more like indoctrination system because there's not a whole lot of educating going on, but who don't understand how impeachment works? How many of those people that's in that base that supports those people don't understand that the House can impeach, but it doesn't mean anything unless the Senate actually convicts? Bill Clinton was impeached, but the Senate didn't convict him, so he stayed in office. But think about all those people that don't understand that, and if the House impeaches him, all those people that think, well, they've impeached him, he needs to go, and that if he doesn't go, then he's being a dictator or some crazy nonsense. And the kind of chaos that's going to cause, that's got the potential to light a fuse under a powder keg. Oh, exactly, Frank. That's what I'm talking about. I don't think that they'll sit idly by. I think it'll be a losing proposition for them, just like this whole government shutdown right now. My oldest son asked me today, literally today, he asked me, says, is the government still shut down or is it back working again? I said, no, it's still shut down. He goes, okay, I wasn't sure because I couldn't tell. And the point with that is, if the government's shut down and you can't tell, maybe there's a clue in there that we don't need nearly as much of the government as we've got. Let's see. The gun control scare, I think, is definitely a possibility. And I touched on this previously because all they've got to do is, yeah, right, Christopher? And in case you honestly don't know, yes, it is shut down. Trump, they shut it down before Christmas because they couldn't reach an agreement on the border funding for the border wall that Trump wanted. Excuse me. So yes, your federal government's currently shut down. Not that you can notice. Like my buddy and I were saying, as long as they're still taking money out of my paycheck, the government ain't shut down. So, yeah, so much for that farce. But, gun control, it would be very easy for another Las Vegas type event to happen. All the Democrats are going to have to start, excuse me, start doing is talk about passing gun control. And if Trump even hints that he'll entertain the conversation, I think you could easily see another gun buy panic go on, and people just clean the shelves off and put us right back in the situation we were a few years ago, where prices go through the roof and availability drops to nothing. So that's why I just said that, excuse me, I swallowed some chili wrong. That's why I said there's something you want gun-wise, ammo-wise, mag-wise, whatever. I would seriously start looking at doing it within the next few months. The next few months for sure, because it could easily happen. Not saying it will, and don't be part of instigating something, like that. Don't be running out, oh my God, buying everything. But I would quietly be looking to purchase things if there's something you really, really want to get off your list. Jobs in the industry. And I'll almost tell you, this is almost one of the most cutthroat, bloodthirstiest industries to be in. And one of the reasons why is, and I say this with all seriousness, some of the worst people in the world are gun owners. They're absolutely some of the most unpleasant people. Self-serving, self-interested, less than honest, less than honorable. Look at social media. Online forums, Instagram, Facebook, all prime examples. I see people all the time who are gun owners, gun industry people, who are the very ones who will criticize liberals, Democrats, communists, socialists, etc., for constantly repeating talking points about things that they don't really know anything about. But they regurgitate the talking points. And it's obvious because you'll see almost the same exact thing being said verbatim, and you know that they're just repeating what they heard somebody else say. Gun people are the same way. You will see stuff regurgitated on social media from gun folks that it's blatantly obvious they are just simply repeating what they heard somebody else say, don't have any first-hand knowledge or experience with what it is they're commenting on or talking about. But they do it anyway. And it makes for a lot of inaccurate misinformation put out, sometimes intentionally, sometimes unintentionally. It's a bloodthirsty industry. It really is, from both the business industry side of it and the customer side of it. Looking at comments here.
I thought that their knowledge is bumper sticker thin.
The what is?
Their knowledge is bumper
Oh.
sticker thin. It is for people they can see on, you can fit on a bumper sticker, then you just keep repeating it.
Yeah, like my buddy said, these people's knowledge is bumper sticker thin, but they try to sound like it's encyclopedia thick, and it ain't. So, this has been a really interesting year for me. A lot of things have happened, mostly good. You always got to take the bad with the good. But this has kind of been 2018 was kind of the year that the channel really took off. This was the year that got noticed by a couple of other companies and have been able to establish some good relationships. Excuse me. And let me just back up on what I was just saying. There are some good people in the industry. There are some good companies in the industry. You just have to be real selective about who they are, what they are, and be very, very hesitant to believe what you see regurgitated and repeated on social media. Even what you see, whether it's somebody showing something failing or if it's somebody showing something working, the best thing I can tell you is research things the best you can and go with what you can, but put more stock in your own firsthand experiences than you do a bunch of total strangers, if that makes sense. Oh, the private sector is always going to make things better than what the government or military ever does. That's a hands down given. You got to remember, when people start talking about mil spec, and I'll just use ARs as an example since Christopher mentioned it. Mil spec is the bottom baseline specification that has to be met to be accepted within a military program. Doesn't mean it's the best way of doing it. Doesn't mean it can't be done better. Can't mean that can't be done differently and be equally as good. Mil spec is just the bottom baseline that usually the lowest contract bidder is going to win and get to do. So be very careful when you start seeing people talking about mil spec and what they want to base off of mil spec and all that. It's not saying it's bad. The good part is it's a standard that has to be met. I mean, a standard being met is good, doesn't mean that it can't be done better though. A lot of times people see things being done different and say, oh, that's not mil spec, therefore it's not as good, which isn't necessarily always the case. Saints and Sappers is absolutely correct. Lowest bidder wins when it comes to government stuff. Now, see, I don't discount things like what Christopher just commented about in his service days. A2s and M4s were always malfunctioning. When I was in basic training in 1991, I was issued an M16A1 that didn't have a stitch of anodizing left on it. It rattled like a junk truck through a nitroglycerin factory. And I could do 300-meter headshots with that thing with iron sights all day long and twice on Sunday. In fact, I did. So I saw brand new Colt M16A2s that wouldn't function right. But my old Grey Ghost GM Hydromatic, that thing ran like a top. It would eat blanks like Skittles. And if you've ever shot a lot of blanks, you know what those will do on full auto to a gun. So I say all that to say I don't discount somebody else's first-hand experience, because there were those that malfunctioned. There are also a lot that didn't malfunction. So you can't paint everything with a broad brush based off of just one little incident like that. Yeah, and that was one problem that the Marines did have, is got a lot of hand-me-downs from the Army and the Navy as they got done with stuff and phased things out. The Marines got all the leftovers and then had to try to rebuild it and resurface it and all that. So there was that. But the old Altima Speed Lace combat boots, those were awesome. Absolutely awesome. I stood on an asphalt parade field at Fort Jackson one day. We were out there so long that the soles of the boots were starting to get tacky and stick into the asphalt. that was fun days. That's what happens whenever you go there during June, July, August, and September. My buddy didn't have it much better at Paris Island either. So South Carolina in the summer is South Carolina in the summer.
But I was smart enough to go in October, but I didn't graduate until.
Yeah, he
spring.
went.
Got injured, and I took the long way around.
He went in October, so he kind of got the end of the year type thing going on. I was a knucklehead that went to Fort Jackson in June, July, and August.
Saying that's wore
September.
fur coats.
Yeah, sand gnats with fur coats. And then the sand knights like to cross train. So what they would do is after they got done at Paris Island, they would cross northwestward a little ways, go to Fort Jackson and hang out there with us for a while and just kind of swap back and forth between us. Oh yeah, blanks will nasty it up in a hurry, but there again, I hear people having horror stories. I used to have guys give me blanks to shoot just because we had a bunch of them we had to shoot up. I'd run them through my gun and it'd all day long. Never had a problem with it. So things can vary from gun to gun. So Frank, you're a Paris Island graduate too. You and my buddy could probably chat then and about covering some similar ground there. All right, we're coming up on an hour here, so we'll give it about another 8 minutes and then we're going to probably wrap it up. So you guys got any questions or topics, throw them out there now. I'll make sure he sees your comment, Frank. Frank says hoorah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, it just got dark outside here. So on the East Coast we're officially nighttime. You guys know the drill. It's New Year's Eve. Later tonight and come midnight, the crazies are going to be out. Make sure you take that into consideration, and if you got somewhere to go tonight, be extra cautious while you're out and extra cautious on your way home. Could be smart like us and just stay home and bar the doors and windows and wait for the tsunami to wash over, and hopefully by tomorrow morning everybody will be too late or too tired to get up and do anything. But you're all good, cowboy. I'm gonna be doing plenty more of these because they're quick and easy for me to throw together. In fact, I might even do some while I'm working during the day. I can sew and talk to y'all at the same time. Hit me up, Christopher, like I said on email. If you're over in San Marco, we're up on the north side, so we can probably chat about some local stuff.
My office is over in San Marco.
Yeah, my buddy's office is over in San Marco, so we tread a lot of the same ground. There you go, Frank. That's the kind of traveling you need to do. Just walk next door and find a way to package some of that up and FedEx it down here to me. So, trying to think if got about 5 minutes left here. In case I forget and we get closer to wrapping this up. Some of you guys are newer subscribers. Some of you have been around a long time. So, for both of you, I say thank you very much. I appreciate the patronage. I've said it in other videos before. When I started doing this 2012? Yeah. 2012 is when I started doing this and really didn't get heavy into it until 2015. I never envisioned it being where it's at right now. It was just a way for me to put some thoughts out there that I had on my mind, and you know, if there was one person that wanted to hear it, great. to now have almost 6,000 subscribers, which is a small amount compared to some of the big channels, but it's about 5,999 more than I thought I'd actually ever get. It's kind of impressive to me. Purpose-driven shooter. That's a it's a tough question to answer, and it's a simple question to answer all at the same time. You need to. It takes money. Okay, there's no way around that. You're trying to get prepared where you can functionally survive a situation, protect yourself, your family, etc. It takes money. The problem is some people lead you to believe that it takes X amount of money and that you got to have it all in X amount of time. Neither one of those is true. What's right for me and mine might not be right for you and yours. You've got to tailor it for your situation, who you've got involved, etc. And what you financially can afford. Because you got to remember, if you invested $500 into food, water, medicine, self-defense, you're $500 further along than probably 95% of the population. Okay? Frank's absolutely right. Slow and steady. You make a list of what you want to have and avoid the word need. Avoid, okay, well, I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that. Figure out what you want. I want to survive a particular situation. What do I want to have to survive it? Okay? I want to stay alive. Ergo, I want to have food and I want to have water because my body needs those things for me to fulfill that want of staying alive. Macro that out into bigger things. I try to point out when I can as many ways to get into this stuff without spending a lot of money, because as others may have heard me mention, you do not get rich making gear for a living. So Happy New Year, Christopher. I'm on a budget myself. I've got the advantage of I kind of grew up doing it, so I've been doing it for a long time, so a lot of my stuff now is not necessarily first time purchases, but I'm kind of tailoring things. I'm changing things as I need to. I'll sell something to get something that I think fits, a want a little better. We try to make things do as we can. I've got a fairly good close circle of friends, and we all try to help each other out and take care of each other. That goes a long way. Not everybody's got that luxury. Just don't let it overwhelm you. You can do little things, and I can spend 2 hours of us sitting there talking about it, but every time you go to the grocery store, if you buy a couple of cans of soup to have in your pantry, buy one extra every time. And the one extra that you buy, set it aside and stack it away. And as you start getting that built up, then start rotating it with what you use on a monthly basis and replace that with new stock. Little things like that. Look for stuff at the dollar store on sale, like Band-Aids and Polysporin and first aid supplies, that sort of thing. There's all kind of little ways. Self-defense side. Don't think that you've got to spend $5,000 to get adequately set up self-defense wise. That's one of the reasons that I preach so hard on things like Primary Arms and Palmetto State Armory. You can get some absolutely ridiculous deals. Happy New Year, Angel. From places like Palmetto State Armory, where you can get like an AR and a handgun. A lot of times they'll do package deals of an AR and a Smith & Wesson M&P or a Springfield XD. May not be the exact handgun that you want, but to start out, it gives you one of each, maybe at a price point you can afford, and then as you can save up more money down the road, maybe you sell the handgun or trade it in to your gun store with a little bit of money and get the one you actually want. It's just a way to do it and constantly be improving your position. Yeah, again, just what Frank's saying. It doesn't have to be the most expensive thing just because all the cool kids are doing it. And don't let the cool kids tell you that, oh, well, if you use this, you're done for. You're better off just not having anything. That's nonsense. You know, Palmetto State Army ARs, broken record time. When you can do a complete AR for under $500, it's going to be perfectly functional. That still leaves you money for mags and ammo, and then you can add stuff to it and upgrade it as you go. It can be done. That's one of the things I'm trying to do. Smith & Wesson 642 is right. Try to find like-minded friends. That can be probably one of the hardest, because you really got to find people that are on the same page as you. But just keep at it. You'll eventually find, you know, even if it's just one or two people, you'll eventually find somebody. The Saints and Sappers saying,
I got a question for you too.
oh yeah, magazines, dude. If you can afford it, one of the killer deals Palmetto State does is you can buy 1,000 rounds of like Hornady 55 grain 5.56 and 10 PMags for like, was it like $330? It's just over $300. I mean, it's amazing. That's typically what 1,000 rounds of ammo used to cost, and you're getting 10 mags for free. Look for deals like that. Christopher, it can be very hard. It can. That's why I said, shoot me an email since you're right here in town. I don't mind meeting up for coffee sometime. Don't mind it at all. We can chat about some things. What do you want
So I got a question for you, since I'm
Yeah.
not eating up your Wi-Fi.
to ask away?
So 2019, don't worry about the money. What are you looking forward to? Rifle, pistol, and gear coming out, or something that's already out that you would love to have. Rifle, pistol, gear. Doesn't fit in anything we're doing right now. Just this is like if you could do it. What rifle, pistol, gear?
So just to repeat what my buddy's saying, he's asking me for 2019, what's the one thing that if money wasn't an object, would I be looking forward to, rifle, pistol, gear wise, or whatever? And it's not something that, and I'm going to use the word even though I don't like it, it's not something that I need, but there's two guns that I'd absolutely love to have just for fun because I like them and want them. I would love an IWI X95 and a IWI 5.56 Galil pistol. Those two guns would be, man.
Yeah.
If somebody has got a lot of money that they're just letting sit in the bank and they don't want it taking up space, you know, I'm always open to presents like that. I'm just saying. Yeah, I can't even imagine being in Connecticut and trying to find like-minded people. That would be bonkers. Maine? Nope, couldn't even imagine Maine.
Go over to New Hampshire and hang out with the libertarians.
What you got, sweetheart?
I got nothing.
No, the wife just walked in. That'll be nice. A Barrett? Yeah, a Barrett would be nice. The problem with a Barrett is feeding the darn thing. That's the problem with a Barrett. The X95 or the Galil, both being 5.56, they'll take the mags and ammo that I already got. I can afford to feed that. But a Barrett, that gets real expensive to feed that thing.
So what about pistol and gear?
Pistol, I'm a Glock guy at heart, but I've got more than one person that's got me stupid interested in a CZ P07. That's a gun that I got a couple people who I really, really value their thoughts and opinions, and they're big fans of those. I would love to have one of those to try out. And gear wise, there's some stuff I'd like to get from Warrior Assault. I'd like to see them do a couple of their big packs and some of the ATAX patterns. I'd really like to see that. So that'd be my if money was no object, stuff for the new year. All right, guys, we're 5 minutes over. If y'all got any last comments or thoughts or requests, speak now or hold your peace. Yeah, I know you do, Frank. It was kind of coincidental when you showed that one of yours, because I got two buddies that are quite experienced in the real world, and that's what they've got. They love them. We do need to get together sometime, Christopher, because I've always wanted to put hands on one of those TP9s. I'd be curious to see that. Saints, Happy New Year, ma'am. Take care. Finishing up the last few bites of my chili. Because, what time is it? It is 10 after 6. All right, yep, we've been out for a little over an hour. Breaking on Fox News. Trump takes swipe at Elizabeth Warren over something, and then I missed the rest of it. Let's see if I can see what that said. Hang on. Trump takes swipe at Elizabeth Warren over a potential White House run. That's going to be a show and a half right there. I'll have to, all right, Frank, have a good one. Happy New Year. Be safe, party, and don't get carried away. I have to introduce you. One of my very good friends is one of the co-owners of Gun Gallery, so I have to introduce you over there one day. Training, man. There's a lot of folks out there that I've trained with. A lot of good instructors. There's a lot of good instructors that I wouldn't necessarily spend money with. Happy New Year, Todd. Depends on purpose-driven shooter. Depends on where you're at. There's different folks in different areas of the country that I think are worth taking training from. The problem is not everybody trains on the kind of things that we're talking about here on my channel and as Armed Citizens. There's a time and place for everything, including static square range training. The problem is when people don't step outside of that and progress. They just get stuck in that square range rut and then think that that's gunfighting, and it's not. Or survival fighting or whatever. It's all different. There used to be some folks out in Arizona that I would have recommended to you, but I honestly don't know if they're even still doing anything. Let me do some checking and I'll see if I think of anything. Maybe I'll get a video up or something on it and point that out. Maybe I'll do a list of recommended instructors or whatever. See what I can do. I'll add that to the ever-growing topic list. All right, guys, leaving with the time being what it is. The bottom line is this. This is getting empty. And when this gets empty, you know what that means. So I got to go refill it. So I'm going to cut it off here. It's been fun as always. You guys have a happy evening, safe evening. And again, got a video going live in the morning. Show you a couple of cool things. Tune in for that. And all right, well, I used to work there too, so I got a few guys that still friends of mine there in Christopher. So alphacharlieconcepts@gmail.com. Email me. All right, you guys take care, and I will talk at you next year. All right, stay safe, guys. We'll see you later. Thanks.